the casting of Bond, what came into it, because this is a very important character to cast, of course, for film history and for the franchise itself. Many other names and actors were looked at, including movie star Cary Grant. And you might know Cary Grant from North by Northwest. He was in many Hitchcock films. He was a big movie star of the time. However, Cary Grant was like, I'll do one film. He didn't want to do the 5-film contract that they were offering him. And they wanted somebody who could do multiple of these films because they were trying to create this franchise. Other actors that they looked into included Roger Moore, but they thought he looked too young. They weren't interested in him, and he's actually older than Connery, surprisingly. Ian Fleming himself had his sights on David Nevin. David Nevin, if you know who he is, he looks more like an Alfred Butler type from Batman. He doesn't really invoke what you and I would think as James Bond. But if you look at how Ian Fleming looks, and considering Ian Fleming is writing this character as himself, I kind of see the connection. But David Nevin would come back in Casino Royale, the parody film that would come out a few years later as James Bond. And then finally in Broccoli and Salzman decided on 32-year-old Scottish actor Sean Connery, as we all know, after a meeting with him where he was very direct and took control. Fleming, however, he wasn't a fan originally. He said he wasn't as suave as the character in the books, but eventually he warmed up to him. He even rewrote Bond in the books to compensate for Connery's Scottish heritage. If you've seen Skyfall, you know all about this.
Welcome to Scotland.
United Artists also originally weren't fans of Connery because Connery was an unknown at the time. They wanted somebody known, considering this was a new franchise. But obviously the rest is history. Connery became James Bond, and we got this amazing franchise.